Hello, everyone. Hello to our National Breast Cancer Foundation audience. My name is Associate Professor Samantha Oakes. I'm Director of Research Investment at the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Joining us today is Professor Sherene Loi from the Peter MacCallum Cancer Centre. Sherene is one of our most outstanding 10-year endowed chairs. Our National Breast Cancer Foundation Endowed Chair program is a really innovative program to support our very best breast cancer researchers in this country towards reaching our mission of ending deaths from breast cancer. Professor Loi has just been awarded the Frank Fenner Prize for Best Life Scientist of the Year. And we're so excited that Sherene is joining us today to answer a few questions from our community about what winning that award means to her, some questions around what immunotherapy is, and what Sherene is doing to reach our mission of ending deaths from breast cancer. Welcome, Sherene. Congratulations, and thank you for answering some questions from our community.
Hi, Sam. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here.
What really does winning this Frank Fenner Prize for Life Scientist of the Year mean to you?
Of course, I'm very honoured and I feel very grateful and privileged to have been awarded the Frank Fenner Prize for Life Scientist of the Year in 2021. Ultimately, I'm very grateful to my team and all my many collaborators that have helped me achieve what we've achieved today, because it does take a village now to try to improve outcomes in breast cancer as we begin to understand the complexity of the disease.
That's right. And we know the incidence of breast cancer is now exceeding Australia's population growth. So the problem is only getting larger. While we've seen improvements in the survival rate over the last 27 years, unfortunately, we do expect over 3,100 women and men to succumb to this disease this year. So can you expand a little bit more about the research that you're doing currently?
Sure. So I'm a medical oncologist and my focus is breast cancer research and treatment of breast cancer patients. My particular research interests focus on the interaction between the patient's immune system and their breast cancer. So basically how their immune system has, let the breast cancer grow to an extent. My research has focused on how breast cancer in particular can do that and how we can harness or reactivate the immune system to recognize that breast cancer again and help us in the fight to eliminate it.
So you do this using immunotherapy. So these are drugs that help the immune system fight the cancer. Can you expand a little bit about what really is immunotherapy?
Sure. So traditionally with cancer, we've always focused on the cancer. So surgery removes the cancer, chemotherapy targets cancer cells, radiotherapy targets the cancer. Immunotherapy targets the patient's immune system. In breast cancer, we need both, most likely, because the immune system has, been outwitted, or the cancer has learned to avoid it, or the immune system can't see it anymore. So what immunotherapy does is to try to reinvigorate or reactivate the ways that the cancer has learned to turn off our immune system. So in particular, we've learned that the cancer is very good at turning on the brakes of our immune system, so shutting it off. And the most successful immunotherapies at the moment, not only in breast cancer, but other cancer types, has learned to turn off this switch. So take off the brake and allow the immune system to reactivate against the cancer.
So immunotherapy, I think you would agree, is really been a revolution in oncology in the way we treat patients. And it's used in a wide range of different cancer types. But how effective is immunotherapy for breast cancer at the moment?
Yeah, so it's a great question. 2021 was significant because it saw the first approvals of immunotherapy, or in this case, Keytruda, by the US FDA for the treatment of triple-negative breast cancer, so both in early stage and advanced. These trials were in combination with chemotherapy. So at the moment, immunotherapy needs to be combined with chemotherapy, which kind of works at both angles. You kill cancer cells and then you use the immune system to clean up the job. So at the moment, it has shown to be 50% more effective than just using chemotherapy alone. So It's definitely a significant improvement. but we also know that it doesn't help everybody. So we're trying to understand the nuances of that.
Yeah, so that was my next question, really. And I guess the follow on from that is that if it isn't helping all breast cancer patients yet, how are you making immunotherapy more effective for a wide range of breast cancer patients?
So that's an excellent question. There's always more work to be done. At the moment, we're trying to understand the differences in those patients whose breast cancer does really well with immune therapy versus those who do not. In patients that do not do well with our current treatment regimen of immunotherapy and chemotherapy, we're working at two angles to try and understand why that is so. Can we do better by having double immunotherapies, for example, or do we need stronger treatments that target the cancer as well as then adding on the immunotherapy? And the only real way to understand that is by involving patients in research, which is what we try to do, by understanding both their cancer and understanding the patient's immune system. So we do that in a two-pronged approach. We analyze the cancer itself and we analyze the patient's blood to try and understand what's going on with their own immune system. Now, I think in women, it's pretty interesting and complex because women have, obviously, there's estrogen in the mix, and so they have all parts of their reproductive phases of their life. You know, they have breastfeeding, pregnancy, then they have menopause, etc. And I think the interaction between those phases of a woman's life and their own immune system and breast cancer is very understudied, and that's what we're really trying to focus on, to try and understand how we can help patients differently in the different stages of their life.
So amazing. You know, it's so complex, but it really gives us such excitement that we really can move towards our goal of ending deaths from breast cancer. Can I ask you, Sherene, we're very proud of our National Breast Cancer Foundation Endowed chairs. What has receiving the Endowed chair meant to you and your vision for achieving your research goals?
Yes, well, as I mentioned in my awards speech, I'm very grateful and still am grateful to the National Breast Cancer Foundation for the Endowed Chair. It has made a huge difference in my career as it's really allowed me to focus on the science. I think in a time of great uncertainty with not only COVID, but the changes to the national funding and granting bodies, I think it's been very reassuring to have the National Breast Cancer Foundation next to me. So thank you very much.
That's awesome. And we thank our community. So as a reminder, we are 100% community funded, and we thank every single one of our community for helping us support such an outstanding researcher like Professor Loi. I'm excited. I'm really excited about where you're taking your research. Where do you see your research going next?
Well, at the moment, we are still moving towards, as you mentioned, eliminating, deaths from breast cancer. As we realize the complexity, there's just so much that we need to understand. So from my point of view, we're going to try and understand how we can best optimize involving immune therapies, the different immune therapies, and who we give them to. And then it's a matter of getting them to patients, right? So we really need to drive forward getting clinical trials, more patient participation in clinical trials, because if we have that type of research, we can answer our questions quickly. And that brings better therapies to patients.
It's so exciting. I think we can all look forward to a future of no deaths from breast cancer. So that finalizes our questions, Sherene. I can't thank you enough for joining us today and allowing our community to really see your vision and how you're taking your research to the next level. So congratulations on being awarded the Frank Fenner Prize for Best Life Scientist of the Year. I just think that's just amazing. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing where your work takes us.
Thank you, and thank you to NBCF and everyone who supports it.